10 body parts you have but didn't unlock. Human bodies are, figuratively, well-oiled machines. The current us is the product of millions of years of evolution, and the trillions of cells making up our muscles, organs, and the rest of our bodies are cogs in this machine performing specific and important functions that, if they stop working, will mean certain peril for us, right? Well, no. There are actually parts of our body that are completely useless. They are called vestigial body parts. Number 10. Wisdom teeth. Let's start off this video with something that's obviously useless but has caused millions of people worldwide the utmost grief. We all have wisdom teeth and they usually don't notice them. The problem is when they make themselves noticed, which usually involves mind-numbing pain that would render a person useless. Now, while they are deemed a major hassle for us, wisdom teeth were extremely useful to our ancestors. Human eating habits, much like us humans, have evolved over millennia. Our ancestors needed extra teeth to grind up plant material. In fact, some studies claim that the skulls of our ancestors had larger jaws and more teeth. As human eating habits changed, our jaws evolved to become smaller. But it seems that the third molars weren't informed that there was no room for them in our mouths anymore. So they're just there, growing and taking much needed real estate, even though they have no function. Number 9. The appendix. Most of us don't even realize that we have an appendix, especially those of us who slept through biology class. Then you get appendicitis and you're suddenly reminded that it's there, having no purpose at all except for getting inflamed, possibly burst, and poison your blood and kill you. But it hasn't always been a useless organ that it is now. But in order to understand that, we have to understand our body a bit more. Studies have actually shown that the appendix protects your immune system by hosting healthy bacteria that regulate your intestinal flora. These good bacteria actually have equilibrium inside our bodies. But when we get sick, our bodies go into cleanup mode and tries to get rid of all the bad bacteria that it can. Unfortunately, our bodies can't really distinguish the good from the bad bacteria and expel both with equal prejudice. To escape the purge, good bacteria take refuge in the appendix. Sure, all that sounds useful, but, in reality, number 8. The plica semilunaris. Ever wish you had self-cleaning eyes? Unfortunately for us, we've evolved beyond possession of a nictitating membrane, or a third eyelid, which serves to clear away debris and moisten the eyes of most reptiles, amphibians, and birds. This is a super small fold of tissue that is found in the inner corner of the eye. People tend to confuse it with the lacrimal gland, the part of the eye that creates tears. All that remains of the feature in humans is the small fold of tissue in the innermost corner of the eyes, called the plica semilunaris. Number 7. Tonsils. Tonsils are considered to be the body's front line of protection against ingested or inhaled pathogens. However, much like the appendix, they have the tendency of being more of a bother than actually being helpful. Because of their primary job, tonsils are prone to infections and even cause more severe health problems if left untreated. That's the reason why doctors always prefer removing them if they get infected, rather than let it do its job and fight off the infection itself. Number 6. The mystery tendon. A tendon or sinew is a tough, high tensile strength band of dense fibrous connective tissue that connects muscle to bone. It is able to efficiently transmit the mechanical forces of muscle contraction to the skeletal system without sacrificing its ability to withstand significant amounts of tension. Tendons are similar to ligaments, both are made of collagen. Ligaments connect one bone to another, while tendons connect muscle to bone. Histologically, tendons consist of dense regular connective tissue. The main cellular component of tendons are specialized fibroblasts called tendon cells, tenocytes. Tenocytes synthesize the extracellular matrix of tendons, abundant in densely packed collagen fibers. The collagen fibers are parallel to each other and organized into tendon fascicles. Number 5. The ear. The ear is the organ that enables hearing and, in mammals, balance. In mammals, The ear is usually described as having three parts: the outer ear, the middle ear and the inner ear. The outer ear consists of the pinna and the ear canal. Since the outer ear is the only visible portion of the ear in most animals, the word ear often refers to the external part alone. The middle ear includes the tympanic cavity and the three ossicles. The inner ear sits in the bony labyrinth, and contains structures which are key to several senses: the semicircular canals, which enable balance and eye tracking when moving, the utricle and saccule. Number 4. Male nipples. Almost all mammals have nipples. Why males have nipples has been the subject of scientific research. Differences among the sexes, called sexual dimorphism, within a given species are considered by evolutionary biologists to be mostly the result of sexual selection, directly or indirectly. There is a consensus that the male nipple exists because there is no particular advantage to males losing the trait. This is called a spandrel. Number 3. The fibella. The fibella is a small sesamoid bone found in some mammals embedded in the tendon of the lateral head of the gastrocnemius muscle behind the lateral condyle of the femur. It is an accessory bone, an anatomical variation present in 39% of humans. Rarely, there are 2 or 3 of these bones, fibella bi or tripartita. It can be mistaken for a loose body or osteophyte. The word fibella is a Latin diminutive of faba, meaning bean. In humans, it is more common in men than women, older individuals compared to younger, and there is high regional variation, with fibellae being most common in people living in Asia and Oceania and least common in people living in North America and Africa. Bilateral cases, 1 per knee, are more common than unilateral ones, 1 per individual, and within individual cases, fibellae are equally likely to be present in right or left knees. Taken together, number 2. The coccyx. The coccyx, plural, coccyges or coccyxes, commonly referred to as the tailbone, is the final segment of the vertebral column in all apes, and analogous structures in certain other mammals such as horses. In tailless primates, e.g. humans and other great apes, since Nacholapithecus, a Miocene hominoid, the coccyx is the remnant of a vestigial tail. In animals with bony tails, it is known as tailhead or dock, in bird anatomy as tailfin. It comprises 3 to 5 separate or fused coccygeal vertebrae below the sacrum, attached to the sacrum by a fibrocartilaginous joint, the sacrococcygeal symphysis, which permits limited movement between the sacrum and the coccyx. Number 1. Toes. Toes are the digits, fingers, of the foot of a tetrapod. Animal species such as cats that walk on their toes are described as being digitigrade. Humans, and other animals that walk on the solace of their feet, are described as being plantigrade. Unguligrade animals are those that walk on hooves at the tips of their toes. There are normally 5 toes present on each human foot. Each toe consists of 3 phalanx bones, the proximal, middle, and distal, with the exception of the big toe, Latin, hallux. For a minority of people, the little toe also is missing a middle bone. The hallux only contains 2 phalanx bones, the proximal and distal.